welcome to day 9 of our 30-day coding challenge here from CSandMath. Hey, you know what's fun for kids? Personalization. Now, we found this as teachers. We're full-time math teachers, and we find that when you can personalize the coding project or lesson in general to the kids, they really like it. So we're going to bring in a character. Okay, that's what we're going to do first. And then we're going to dig back into some computational thinking, this time focusing on a concept called abstraction, which I'll talk about, and introduce some variables and function to our code that already exists. So if you could get set up, get to your Trinket Python, and we'll start here in a second. Okay, so we save our code into a Google Doc. You can save it anywhere, but I would recommend if you're doing the challenges to save your code in like a single spot after each challenge, so that it's kind of organized for you. So I've copied and pasted I've copied, oh, that was the wrong one. I need to copy our code from yesterday. And then I'm going to paste it, Control C, Control V. And this was the one that executed the grid, right? Now I'm actually going to clean up this top part. We don't need all this actually. We're not going to hide the turtle for today because we're actually going to put in a character. We do need that, so I'm going to undo that. Speed is 0, that's fine. So I'm going to delete that out. This window setup, you can do this. I'm going to delete it out though, just for time's sake. I'm going to delete out this comment. Let's just do it like this. We're going to import turtle, name it, set the speed, and let's just call that setup, just to clean up that code a little bit. Okay, if you're a little behind, you can pause and rewatch that, but I'm going to go then and also pull out the code we did from creating the XY axes. So this code right here, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to make the axes before the grid. So notice if I paste that in, we've got the setup, the XY axis, and then the vertical and horizontal grids. And if we run that, well, you can't see the axis, so I'll cover that in a second. Okay, well, let's just do it now. So I got, for the axes, we want to make sure they're bold and blue is what we did. So we did T is the name of our turtle, dot, not pen, we'll do color first. We set the color to blue, and then we did T dot pen size, excuse me, and we set that to 3. So now if we ran this, check this out, we're going to have everything bold and blue, which isn't any good, right, because we wanted the grid to be just plain black. So let's just copy those 2 lines of code, go to our grid. We're going to say, well, we want our grid actually to just be plain black and the pen size to just be 1. So now if we run this, switches it back, and you can see the XY grid bolded. Okay, so I'm actually going to just, in case you're new, like and missed the last couple challenges, I'm just going to scroll through this code, and you could just copy it. It's not ideal, but again, it's better than nothing. So I'll do that 2 times, so you could actually just pause the video, get set up, and keep pausing it back and forth to get to this point. Okay. Next, let's do what I said we were going to do first and add in this character. And kids love this, by the way. They love anything that will personalize it, because this is just a lot of gridding and squares and stuff. They're not going to find it amazing necessarily, but what they are going to like is if you tell them to hit this add image button. Now, every development environment is going to have a different kind of layout to how to add images. So if you're not in Trinket, odds are good it's not going to be quite like this. But if you are, our setup is pretty clean. You might have to do a little searching to figure out how to do it elsewhere. My kids love this Disney game called Where's My Water? So I brought in the main character of that. His name is Swampy. Took 3 of them to get the one that I liked. So this is called Swampy 3. And I'm just going to pull in this code that it gives me on how to bring in images. So I'm going to go copy. I'm going to copy that code. I'm going to click back on my main. We haven't been naming this. It's called main.py is the file name. You can save these files, by the way, if that's working better for you. I'm going to put it right up here in the setup. So let's think. We needed to have a screen. That's good. I'm not going to put in a background, so I'm going to get that out of there. I'm going to change this comment here to add character. And again, kids are going to love that. Screen.addShape is going to add a shape to the screen. Our turtle's not called Tina, at least mine's not. Yours might be called something like that. Yeah, we already have that, so we don't need that. So we already named it turtle, so this isn't going to be Tina, it's going to be t.shape. And you have to get very accurately the name of your file. So this is Swampy3. So if I click back over here, I'm going to call this character Swampy3.gif. Then I'm going to take that, copy it, paste it here. Oops. I guess it probably would have been easier to type it at that point. So Swampy3, and let's run this and see what happens. And there he is. Now that was a little fast, so let me change the speed to something slow. Oh, he's sideways. So yeah, what's nice is that we're using go-to commands instead of movement commands, because otherwise I'd have to go back and change the actual image. But I'm going to stop that. Just to remind you, one thing you can do is you can go, if you go to that question mark, let me do that again in case I did it too fast. This question mark, it says view the supported modules. Again, this is the documentation or what's like the library. So if I go to Turtle and I do Control F, Control Find, I can actually search heading, which I had already done obviously. And see how it says turtle.setHeading? That one's just heading. We want to set the heading. So if I go to set heading, there we go. Alias is Seth, that's the one I remember. So you can set the heading. Let's go back in here underneath and do Seth. Set heading. Do I have to do T-dot? I suppose we have to tell. I don't think so because we only have one character. So I'm going to set the heading to 90 as suggested. Yeah, we do. We need to tell what to set the heading. So T.Seth. There we go. So then he turned him 90 degrees and now he's functioning upright. So you could do in 90-degree increments, right? Each increment of 90 will be north, south, east, west. So, okay, I'm going to let you make sure yours is working there and pause for a second to finish up. All right, really quick, I realized here as I paused that I forgot to say, I never said add image to the library, and then you want to click upload new image. For example, like this rocket ship came pre-packaged. If I click that and click done, or uploaded one and then put it in there, notice how it shows up below, and then you could always delete them out of there. So if I went back to my main program and changed this to rocket ship, right, it would fix that. So this takes some time. I apologize if anything was glitchy. I wanted to end the video. You'll see I was playing around over here with something, and that is what I wanted to end with. And what I want to do is introduce a variable called size. And if you notice, you probably already have noticed this, that the number 200 is in there a lot because that has to do with the sizing, right? And so we can make this dynamic size, and actually there's a lot we could do with this. This video's gone a little long, so I think maybe I'll end with this. But everywhere you see the a 200 in here, go ahead and replace that with the word size, like this, okay? Okay, so it should look something like this, negative size, right? All of the 200s are set to size. Being mindful that the negatives are in there. Now if I run this and call the size 200, just makes everything like we did before. But if I wanted to make it like half as big, like let's say 100, notice it almost works, right? It's not quite right. That's because our incrementing doesn't work. So this is where our incrementing was done. What do you think we'd have to change this to? Yeah, we need to change that to size divided by 4. I think that, yeah, and then I would also have to come down here and change this to size, whatever that is, divided by 4. Okay, so if I ran this, notice how it makes a nice clean grid, and if I set it to even half that big, let's say 50, it would now make the grid 50. So that is just something that can help us do things a little differently. I was going to put functions in here too. I think I'll save that because we've went a little long here today. All right, hopefully you guys found success, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and if you want to share on Twitter with the hashtags #CSandMath, hashtag 30-day coding challenge. Thanks.